Hey everybody, I am driving, so you're going to have to excuse. I'm not going to be reading comments. Hopefully my connection stays put and you guys can hear me all right. But I wanted to pop in really quick because I feel like at this point, and it goes against a lot of things that I necessarily want to do, but at this point I feel that it's necessary. I feel like it's counterproductive to be quiet at this point. I've heard a lot of things about what's coming, and there's been a lot of threatening, things being put out there. And it's my job as a business owner and as a team leader to protect my company. It's, my business, the businesses of the girls who work their businesses every single day. And so I made the decision to not be so quiet. I've heard there's going to be blog posts. I've heard videos are going around. I've heard a lot of things, and I'm not here. I want to make something really, really clear, is I am not here to name names. I'm not here to bash or trash anyone. I'm here to essentially offer you guys the truth. And if you know me, you know that integrity, and personally, integrity and professionally, integrity is huge to me. And I would never work for a company that lacked integrity. And unfortunately, there have been people who have done some wrong things and decided to attack the integrity of Limelight, which is a company that I know and love. And I think it's something that just needs to be said. So I am going to explain my perspective and my experience of what took place over the last week. And I am going to just simply put exactly why there were terminations that took place within our company. Is it normal for a direct sales company to terminate people? No, it's not something that happens all of the time. It's not something that happens. I mean, most companies will turn a blind eye because they see the bottom dollar and they don't want to lose people, because losing people means you're losing money. But our company is very protective of the culture that they have created, and they're very protective of the businesses and the well-being of their beauty guides. So last week we had promotions came out, and I will tell you when I am speaking from speculation, and I will tell you when I'm speaking factually. So I do not want there to be any I don't want you guys to be confused on any of that. My speculation on what took place were a few things. There was a member of our company who was terminated about 6 weeks ago. She was terminated, and that was the end of it. There was a huge controversy, a little bit of fit throwing. There were some things that were said. I didn't pay attention to it or mind it, because to me, gossip is gossip, and it is what it is. So, oddly enough, and what I found, and this is my speculation, the same week that this said person who was terminated, the same week that this person found themselves a new company, all of a sudden we had a grand conspiracy within Limelight about there being these horrible things that were going on, and this big grand conspiracy about these nasty things. On that same note, and this is my interpretation and speculation, so you know, on that same note, promotions were also addressed and announced. Our company works different. We don't announce promotions in real time. So promotions get saved until all statuses and ranks are finalized and paid out. So the same week that this person who had been out of the company for 6 weeks finds a new company, and when a bunch of people get their promotions announced, suddenly we have this big problem. The things that were said And the speculations that were taking place were so far gone from reality, it was really hard to decipher. There were things being conspiracy is the best way to describe it, because it was so far out there, so far gone. There were speculations that there were people who were actually dead, phone call, who were signed up as beauty guides, that were getting paid, but they were actually dead, and stuff that you can't make up. There were conspiring, plans to conspire against our company. There was defaming comments made about our owner, our company, our corporate leaders, our regional director, me, other beauty guides. And there was so much that when one theory, hopefully you guys can see me. Can you give me hearts if you can hear and see me, please? Okay, so I know people can hear and see me. All right. So there was, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So there was all this stuff going on, and when one theory would be debunked, a new theory would then come into play, where it was like, no matter how many times somebody was able to disprove the stuff that was being said, it would just get deeper and deeper and deeper. Now those were facts. These things were going on in group chats with people. There were main people who were ringleading it, if you want my honest opinion, who were, orchestrating this whole conspiracy. And then there were people who were so unfortunately drug into the middle of it. And it was so upsetting because they were presenting these grand conspiracies as facts, doing background checks on our corporate employees. It was absolutely out of this world offensive. Now, going back to when these things would be debunked, when they ran out of things to come up with about a certain person who is a beauty guide, they then attacked her for being gay. And there was discriminatory comments made about a person's sexuality. And that's upsetting. And not only is it upsetting, but it's a federal issue. So all of these things took place, and that is fact. Unfortunately, I think the lesson that was learned in this is that there's no such thing in this world as a private conversation, and screenshots of these conversations in their entirety were seen and shared by so many, all the way up to the founder of our company, who then had to look at what was taking place and had to take action. Now, did we want to lose people? Does it help a company to lose people? It does not. It doesn't help anyone. And I've seen comments about this benefiting me, this being something that, oh, well, we know who this benefits. I can tell you right here and now that the only thing that I gained from this entire situation was an incredible headache, a lot of work, and a lot of cleanup. So if we want to raise more speculation about what I'm gaining from this, let me be clear, and let me be very, very clear that this does not benefit me. It does not benefit anybody. We lost people, and some of those people I feel were drug into the middle of it, but we had high rank leaders from other companies who knew better. And the same people, and this is this is what upsets me most, is the same people who are saying they're going to go write a blog to defame, and they're releasing videos, and they're taking all of this out of all of this, and they're trying to use it to harm the company. If we rewind back, once they were caught, we're apologizing profusely. But because of the gravity of what took place had to be let go, because of that, now they're back to trying to start trouble once again. So it leads me to believe that these people were not people who were right for the culture of our company anyway. With that being said, I want to leave you with a thought before you listen to this garbage. If the blog post is out or not, I will tell you right now, I'm not worried about it. Our regional director isn't worried about it. Our company owner, CEO, founder, they're not worried about it. But this blog post is meant to harm, and it's meant to defame and to pull credibility away from a company who has the utmost integrity. And it disgusts me. It absolutely disgusts me, because it's just, I think they're banking on the fact that we will be silent, and that is why I am not going to be silent today. Now, I want to leave you with a thought. My thought, this is something as a professional I want you guys to, I know as women, we learn to ride on emotion, and we learn to, or we don't learn to, but by nature, we run on emotion, we react. We're very reactive, a reactive species. But what I want you to take into consideration, I want you to take something into consideration, and that goes back to the beauty guide who was terminated 6 weeks ago, as well as the 6 beauty guides that were terminated recently, along with the 1 beauty guide who decided to resign before she was terminated. I want you to take something into consideration before you listen to the noise, because it's all just noise. And that is if it were done and it were not justified and it were something that shouldn't have happened, don't you think that they would have contacted an attorney? And don't you think that they would have had legal recourse? And the answer is they didn't, because they don't. Now, if a company cannot let go of somebody without heavily documented evidence, heavily, and they have to have that, they also cannot let somebody go, as a rec sales company, cannot let somebody go without legal backing. Now, that being said, it puts them in a position where they could get into serious legal trouble. So that leads me to believe, as a professional and logical thinker, is that you don't have to know the full story. You don't have to see these horrific screenshots. You don't have to know what these conversations consisted of that led to termination to fully understand that Limelight had absolute reason to take the action that they did. And it's so unfortunate, and it's such a shame, because I look at that situation and I say to myself, how did these women not see the opportunity that was sitting in the palm of their hands? This incredible opportunity. They missed that because they were so focused on causing problems. And I'm going to jump back to my initial speculation, either to one, recruit for another company, or fall into a recruiting scheme by somebody who was working for their own benefit, or just to start drama because they didn't promote as high as someone else did. And that is where I sit with it. That is what I speculate is the cause and the reason that this all started. It's either because it was a grand recruiting scheme, or it was a situation where it was born of hate and jealousy, because there were girls who spent the month busting their asses to get a promotion, and they did. And then there were girls who wasted the month in a group chat talking about others. And I will go back and leave you with one last thing, and that is something that's so brilliant that I learned from Sarah Robbins, and that is that drama kills paychecks. So I hope this gives you a little bit of clarity. I hope that when you see this blog and these videos plastered everywhere and shoved down your throats, you have a business mind to say, well, that doesn't add up. And now I have the real story. And now when you look at these threads on Facebook from these people who are stirring a pot for their own benefit, you realize why, when people ask, well, why were you terminated? That question never gets answered. So I am going to leave you with that. I really don't care who sees this. I decided to put it on Periscope because I'm a little bit tired of watching my company, who has incredible integrity, be accused of having none. And I just hope that you guys finally see the other side of this story, and I bid you good night. I will talk to you soon. Bye.